Hello, my name is Bonnie Ring, and I'm the author of Women Who Knew Jesus. Welcome to my home and office in Moss Beach, California. I have a doctorate in adult education and applied behavioral sciences. I'm a licensed psychologist, and I'm an ordained Episcopal priest and spiritual director. And it's those skills that I've used to write a book about the women who knew Jesus, a book that looks at Jesus as a real person and at the encounters he has with the women who in their own society would have been rejected or demeaned because they were women, but who he offered acceptance, compassion, healing, and teaching. My book allows the reader to encounter each of the 16 women that are described in the Gospels, who had met Jesus at some point during their lives and who were affected and changed by him during those encounters. One of the most important women is Mary Magdalene, who accompanied Jesus in his ministry throughout Palestine and the Galilee and to Jerusalem. She shared in his ministry with him, and she was the one that was present at the three major moments at the end of his life. Another woman that I really like a lot is the Samaritan woman at the well. And her story is interesting because she goes to the well at noon when nobody else will be there because she's been shunned by the women in her town. Jesus saunters over and asks her for a sip of water from her water jug. She was so surprised by his acceptance of her as a Samaritan and as potentially unclean that she got into a conversation with him. And eventually he revealed to her for the first time in the Gospels that he was the Messiah. There's a story about a bent-over woman who appeared in the synagogue on a Saturday, and Jesus saw her. She literally was bent over like this, and he went up, he called her out and made her visible to everybody there. I'm sure she was devastated by that. And he laid his hands on her, and she stood upright for the first time in 14 years. I address Mary more honestly, Mary the mother of Jesus, than I've ever read it anywhere. She got into a tiff with him, which appears in 3 out of the 4 Gospels, where she literally said he was out of his head and she wanted to take him away. I was amazed at how compelling these stories were to women when I presented them. And I learned in doing the retreats, and I've given retreats on the women for 25 years now. I learned from that experience that if you gave them opportunities to enter into the experience through guided meditations, and if you gave them questions to reflect on that tied them to those experiences to their experiences, that they came away changed and transformed. And so what could have been a minor part of my ministry as an ordained priest became a major part. It was not until 25 years after doing the retreats that a group said to me, "Would you come back and do the rest of the women?" And I had a whole year to study the rest of the women. And we had this wonderful experience, and it was in the middle of that experience that I said, if I write this as a book, thousands of women can have this experience and benefit from it. And so I took the next 2 years. I told my bishop I had to resign from doing active ministry so I could write. And I wrote the book. Over and over and over again, you see this man who listened, noticed, cared, healed, comforted, and had compassion. And in a way, that's the God we have, that he manifests in his own being.